The Sahel region simmers. This vast arid expanse stretching across Africa is a land of stark beauty and harsh realities. It is a place where the sun beats down mercilessly and the sands shift with the winds of change. But beneath its serene exterior, the Sahel is a crucible of political instability and social upheaval. It is a crucible of political instability. The streets of Burkina Faso have often been filled with the cries of protesters, demanding change, seeking justice, and yearning for a better future. The government buildings, once symbols of authority, have become battlegrounds for the people's discontent. Here, in Burkina Faso, a young captain rose to prominence. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a figure emerged from the ranks of the military, capturing the attention of a nation desperate for leadership. His name is Ibrahim Traoré. With a steely gaze and a resolute demeanor, Traoré quickly became a symbol of hope and determination for many. In September 2022, he seized control. A coup d'état, the streets echoed with the sound of marching boots and the clamor of a nation on the brink of transformation. Soldiers took control of key government buildings and the old regime was toppled. He became Burkina Faso's interim president. His rise was swift, his methods decisive. The world watched, intrigued. News outlets around the globe broadcasted the unfolding drama, as Traoré's name became synonymous with change. Traoré's ascent was born of turmoil. The streets of Burkina Faso were a testament to the unrest that had gripped the nation. Protests, clashes, and a palpable sense of urgency filled the air. Burkina Faso, plagued by jihadist violence, yearned for stability. The threat of extremist groups loomed large, and the people longed for a leader who could bring peace and security to their troubled land. The previous government, deemed ineffective, was overthrown. The halls of power, once bustling with activity, now stood empty, a stark reminder of the sweeping changes that had taken place. Traoré, a relatively junior officer, emerged from the shadows. He promised change. He pledged security. His words resonated with a populace weary of broken promises and unfulfilled dreams. His background, shrouded in some mystery, only added to his allure. Who was this man who had risen so quickly? What drove him? These questions lingered in the minds of many. A man of action, not words. Traoré's leadership style was characterized by decisive actions and a hands-on approach. He was often seen on the front lines, leading by example. His early days in power were marked by decisive moves. Nationalization of gold mines. This bold step was aimed at reclaiming the nation's resources and ensuring that the wealth generated benefited the people of Burkina Faso. Provision of free tractors to farmers. By empowering the agricultural sector, Traoré sought to boost food production and improve the livelihoods of rural communities. These actions resonated with a population desperate for a strong hand. The people of Burkina Faso, weary of instability and hardship, found a glimmer of hope in Traoré's leadership. His bold initiatives and unwavering resolve offered a promise of a brighter future. Ibrahim Traoré is an enigma. He does not fit neatly into predefined boxes. He is wary of Western-style democracy. He sees it as flawed. He questions its applicability in the African context. This has drawn criticism. Some accuse him of authoritarianism, of stifling dissent. Yet, Traoré remains undeterred. He believes in strong leadership, in prioritizing national sovereignty. He rails against neo-colonialism. He sees the West's hand in Africa's problems. This message resonates, particularly amongst those disillusioned with the status quo. His critics, he argues, misunderstand him. They judge him through a Western lens. They fail to grasp the realities of Africa. He offers an alternative vision, one rooted in Pan-Africanism, in self-reliance, in throwing off the shackles of the past. May 6, 2025, Gabon, a presidential inauguration. Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema takes the oath of office. The ceremony is formal, subdued. Then, a name is uttered. Traoré. A hush falls over the crowd, then a murmur, growing louder, a ripple of excitement. Why this reaction? Traoré was not present, yet his name held weight. It symbolized something. A shift in the African landscape, a yearning for change, a rejection of the old guard. The significance was not lost on observers. Traoré, it seemed, had become an icon, a symbol of resistance. His influence extended beyond Burkina Faso's borders. It spoke to a continent in flux. How did a junior military officer from a landlocked Sahelian nation gain such prominence? Traoré's appeal is multifaceted. It taps into a vein of discontent, a desire for change. Across Africa, people are disillusioned, with corruption, with insecurity, with the perceived failures of democracy. Traoré's message resonates. He offers a vision of a strong, independent Africa, free from foreign interference. His youth adds to his appeal. He represents a break from the past, from the gerontocracy that has long held sway. He embodies a new generation, one that is less willing to accept the status quo, one that demands better. Section 5. rejecting the past. Traoré's vision for an independent Africa. At the heart of Traoré's ideology lies a rejection of neo-colonialism. He sees France's continued presence in Africa as a vestige of empire, a hindrance to true independence. His criticism of France is pointed. He accuses them of propping up puppet regimes, of exploiting Africa's resources, and of undermining its sovereignty. This message resonates deeply. It taps into a wellspring of resentment. Traoré's vision is clear. He wants an Africa that is master of its own destiny, free from foreign interference, able to chart its own course. This vision is shared by many. It is a potent force, one that is reshaping the continent. Section 6. A continent in flux, military leadership and the changing face of Africa. Traoré's rise reflects a broader trend. Across Africa, military leaders are assuming power. This shift is not isolated to one or two countries but is a phenomenon seen across the continent. From the northern reaches of Mali to the southern borders of Guinea, and stretching into the heart of Chad, military figures are stepping into roles traditionally held by civilian leaders. Mali, Guinea, Chad. The reasons are complex. Each country has its own unique set of circumstances that have led to this shift. In Mali, ongoing conflicts and instability have created a vacuum that military leaders have filled. In Guinea, political unrest and dissatisfaction with the previous regime have paved the way for military intervention. Chad too has seen its share of turmoil, with military leaders stepping in to restore order amidst chaos. But a common thread emerges, a loss of faith in civilian leadership. Across these nations, people have grown disillusioned with their elected officials. Corruption, inefficiency, and a failure to address the needs of the populace have eroded trust in civilian governments. This disillusionment has created an environment where military leaders are seen as a viable alternative. This trend is concerning for some. They fear a return to authoritarianism. The memories of past military dictatorships with their human rights abuses and suppression of freedoms are still fresh in the minds of many. There is a palpable fear that the rise of military leaders could signal a regression to those dark times, a rollback of democratic gains. Others, however, see it differently. They argue that the current wave of military leadership is not about seizing power for power's sake, but about addressing the failures of civilian governments. They believe that these leaders can bring stability and order, which are prerequisites for any meaningful progress. They view it as a necessary corrective, a way to restore order. In their eyes, the military is stepping in to fill a void left by ineffective civilian leaders. They see this as a temporary measure, a way to stabilize the nation and create a foundation upon which democratic institutions can be rebuilt, to break with a corrupt past. The situation is nuanced. While some military leaders may indeed have altruistic motives, others may be driven by a desire for power and control. The challenge lies in distinguishing between the two and ensuring that any transition of power ultimately benefits the people. It is too simplistic to paint it in black and white. Each case must be judged on its own merits. The context, the leaders involved, and the specific circumstances of each country all play a crucial role in determining the impact of military leadership. Each case must be judged on its own merits. What is clear, however, is that Africa is changing. The old order is crumbling. A new one is emerging. This period of transition is fraught with challenges but also holds the promise of a brighter future if navigated wisely. What is clear, however, is that Africa is changing. The old order is crumbling. A new one is emerging. This period of transition is fraught with challenges but also holds the promise of a brighter future if navigated wisely. The old order is crumbling. A new one is emerging. The youth are particularly hopeful, seeing this as an opportunity to reshape their nations. With new leaders, innovative ideas, and a commitment to progress, Africa stands on the brink of a significant transformation. Section 7. The Sankara Echo Comparisons and Contrasts. The specter of Thomas Sankara looms large. The charismatic Burkinabe leader, assassinated in 1987, remains an icon, a symbol of revolutionary Pan-Africanism. Comparisons between Sankara and Traoré are inevitable. Both rose to power through military coups. Both espouse a Pan-Africanist vision. Both are critical of Western influence. However, there are also key differences. Sankara was ideologically driven. A Marxist-Leninist, he sought to radically transform Burkinabe society. Traoré's ideology is less defined. He appears more pragmatic, more focused on security and stability. Only time will tell whether Traoré will live up to the comparisons, whether he will be remembered as a true heir to Sankara's legacy, or whether he will chart his own course. Section 8. The People's Champion, Traoré's appeal amongst the masses. Traoré's popularity stems from his connection with ordinary people. He is seen as a man of action, not a career politician. He is not afraid to get his hands dirty. His actions speak louder than words. The nationalization of gold mines, the provision of free tractors. These resonate with a population struggling to make ends meet. They see him as someone who understands their plight. His youth also plays a role. He represents a break from the past, from the old men who have clung to power for so long. He offers hope for a better future, one free from the shackles of corruption and neo-colonialism. Section 9. Looking ahead, Traoré's legacy and the future of African leadership. Ibrahim Traoré's place in history is yet to be written. As a leader who has risen to prominence in a time of great change and uncertainty, his actions and decisions will be scrutinized by many. His journey is not just his own, it is a reflection of the hopes and aspirations of millions who look to him for guidance and inspiration. Will he be a force for positive change? This is the question on everyone's mind. His speeches are filled with promises of reform and progress, but the true test will be in the implementation of these promises. Can he navigate the complex political landscape and bring about the transformation that so many desire? Or will he succumb to the temptations of power? Only time will tell. History is replete with leaders who started with noble intentions, but were eventually corrupted by the very power they sought to wield for good. The path ahead is fraught with challenges and potential pitfalls. What is certain is that he represents something significant. In a continent that has seen its fair share of turmoil and triumph, Traoré stands as a symbol of a new era. His rise to power is a testament to the changing dynamics of African politics and the growing demand for leaders who are in touch with the needs of their people. A shift in the African landscape. This shift is not just political but also cultural and social. There is a growing sense of unity and purpose among the people, a collective desire to break free from the shackles of the past and forge a new path forward. A yearning for a new kind of leadership, one that is not only visionary but also grounded in reality. The youth in particular are looking for leaders who can address their concerns and provide them with opportunities for growth and development, one that is accountable to the people. Accountability is the cornerstone of good governance, and it is something that the people of Africa are increasingly demanding. They want leaders who are transparent, who listen to their concerns, and who are willing to be held accountable for their actions. One that is committed to Pan-Africanism. The idea of a united Africa, where countries work together for the common good, is gaining traction. Traoré's leadership will be crucial in advancing this vision and fostering greater cooperation among African nations, one that is determined to chart a new course for the continent. This involves not only political and economic reforms but also social and cultural changes. It is about creating a future where every African can thrive and reach their full potential. The road ahead will be challenging. There will be obstacles to overcome, both internal and external. But with determination and the support of the people, these challenges can be surmounted. But Traoré's journey will be closely watched. Every move he makes will be analyzed and critiqued, not just by his supporters but also by his detractors. The media will play a crucial role in shaping public perception and holding him accountable, by those who see him as a beacon of hope. For many, Traoré represents the possibility of a brighter future. They see in him a leader who can bring about the change they have long been waiting for, and by those who fear what his rise may portend. Change is often met with resistance, and there are those who are wary of what Traoré's leadership might mean for the status quo. They fear the unknown and the potential upheaval that comes with it. His legacy, for better or for worse, will shape the future of Africa. The impact of his leadership will be felt for generations to come, influencing the direction of the continent and the lives of its people. The story of Ibrahim Traoré is still being written, and its final chapters will be